Activated Storyteller 70th podcast. January 17th, 2008.
This week's story is The Fisherman and His Wife, a story from the British Isles.
Oh, gosh, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Zephyr. It sure is nice to see you all here again. Huh?
And together we are...
The Activated Storytellers, Disneyfied this week.
And we have a special guest star with us. We're going to save her for just a second here. We'll reveal her identity in just a second. We are podcasting from Fort Wilderness this week.
Fort Wilderness near Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
On the property of Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, Fort Wilderness is a Disney campground, actually. It's on Disney property, and it's run by Disney. And Disney property is huge. I believe it's about 10 square miles, so there's a lot of land here.
Yes, and this week we have a special guest star come to us from Massachusetts. It is...
somebody who can't do any sort of Disney impersonation to save her life.
Welcome, Cassia!
Yes, we finally revealed her identity. I've been wondering who she was.
Cassia is staying with us this week. Cassia and Zephyr are storming Disney World. And so far, what have you guys done?
We have done Epcot and the Animal Kingdom, not in that order. Tomorrow's Magic Kingdom, and then the big whopper, Disney Hollywood Studios, which was formerly known as Disney MGM Studios, but is now Disney's Hollywood Studios.
And your impressions?
Well, I've been to Disney World before, but as Zephyr never ceases to point out, I visited about all the parks, but went till maybe like 5 rides in all of the parks combined. And, well, if you've met Zephyr, you know that is just not acceptable in his book. So I've been on pretty much every single ride that he's dragged me to, and it's been a lot of fun now that I actually am on rides. And
so you are enjoying it then. Good job, Z.
That's right. I had to drag her on the relatively new Expedition Everest because she'd actually never been on a roller coaster before, but we fixed that, so.
And how'd that work for you?
Well, it was fun, except for the part where we went backward and I almost threw up. But other than that, yeah, it was good.
Sounds like you guys have been having a lot of fun. Dennis and I have been camping out at Fort Wilderness, and there are several other families here who are on the road. Met 6 of them last night at the campfire, dancing with Chip and Dale and watching the movie there under the sky, under the stars.
Yes, they show a movie outdoors every night. We've been there twice now. Went to see The Parent Trap the first night. Really nice, funny movie.
And last night, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which we did not watch. We just were too busy talking with all of the people who came here from who are on the road, families on the road. Also, let's see, this week I'm sewing curtains. That's my big fun for the week.
Yeah, we got bored of the curtains that we had in the RV, so we decided to make some new ones. And we each got to design our own pair of curtains. And I have to say, I think mine are probably the coolest.
How so?
Because mine have black and red stripes, and they're going to have a skull and crossbones on them when they're finished.
Yeah, so been having fun doing some sewing, making some new curtains for the RV.
Well, we just did 4 Shakespeare shows in a row, which we've never done before.
Right, down by Miami. Well, we did Alva Stewart and Miami Lakes Library.
We've never done Shakespeare at a library before, and it actually went extremely well. Particularly, I think my favorite part of the show was the fact that we had the mayor sitting in the back of the room watching us, and of course there's a politician line in the show which I had to particularly punch for the benefit of the mayor, and I got to talk to him afterwards, and he really appreciated the fact that we poked fun at him. So
yeah, and that part you're talking about verbal irony.
Yeah, and Dad says saying one thing while meaning the exact opposite, and I say, oh, we call that campaigning for office.
Yeah, I think he laughed the loudest on that line. So good show, good fun. Having a great time in Florida, and on to the story?
On to the story.
This week's story is The Fisherman and His Wife.
Once there was a fisherman and his wife who were very, very poor. In fact, they were so poor that they lived in a pigsty. They didn't even try to keep up with the Joneses, who lived in a chicken coop. One day, the fisherman went down to the lake to try to catch some fish. And before long, he reeled in a fish.
Oh, it's a big one. It's Jaws. It's Jaws. It's coming in. It's actually not that big at all.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Fisherman.
Ah, a talking fish. I knew they'd been dumping too much toxic waste in the lake lately.
If you don't mind terribly letting me go, I am a prince after all.
Oh, right. I'm gonna believe that.
Well, it's true, I tell you, and I really, really must get back to my kingdom. So if you don't mind, just unhook this bloody hook from my mouth.
Very well. I see no use in eating a talking fish anyway.
Thank you, that's most kind.
So the man went back home and he told his wife all about the miraculous talking fish.
You're not gonna believe what happened in the lake.
What?
Okay, so I go down to the lake and I'm like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, I'm gonna go fishing. And then I put my fishing rod into the water, and then a fish bites, but it's a talking fish with a little monocle. So I let him go back into the lake.
So why did you let him go instead of bringing him back and, like, contacting the Guinness Book of World Records and being like, hey, I found a magical talking fish? I don't understand why you would have let a fish like that go. It's like a cash fish. Come on.
What?
Like a cash cow, except a fish. Like, here's my idea. If this fish could talk, then it can probably do some other things too, right?
Well, I imagine it could do a nice little tap dance number if you asked it well enough.
I'm not actually looking for something that can tap dance. I'm actually looking for something that can get me out of this disgusting pigsty we're living in. I'm sick of sleeping with pigs.
I'll get the divorce papers.
That's a topic for another day completely. Right now, could you please just concentrate on getting the house to look prettier? Like, go back and look, ask the fish or something. I mean, he could probably do it if he can talk and tap dance and sing. Well, then maybe he can do home repairs.
Well, by the time they had reached a conclusion, it was the next day, so the fisherman thought he might as well go back down to the lake.
Oh, fish!
You rang?
Yes, where did you get that monocle? Good, I want one like that.
Irrelevant. What do you want?
Well, I happen to live a little bit up Lousy Lane on a farm in a pigsty. And, I was wondering if you could perhaps transform my pigsty into an actual house.
It is done. Go back and you will find your wife waiting in the house.
Oh, I hate it when she's right.
So he went back home, and the fish never told him that instead of acquiring a monocle, it had in fact lost half its glasses.
Honey, I'm home.
Look at this house. It's so pretty. There's no pigs around it. This is so exciting, and I don't have to sleep in a mud, and there's actual beds.
Calm down. This isn't Oprah.
Now, you probably think that they lived happily ever after, but it wasn't very long, like maybe 24 hours, before the wife was dissatisfied again.
Honey, this whole not living with swine thing is really, really nice. But, like, there's only 10 rooms in this house. What am I supposed to do with only 10 rooms? And I can walk into my closet, but I can't dance in it, and I can't do cartwheels. And I mean, I need something more. Okay, I need something more. Could you please just go back and, like, ask that fish if maybe he can just transform the house into a castle? Because I think that would be really, really awesome.
So he went back to the lake, which was still as deep and dark and mysterious and polluted as ever, and again sought out the fish.
Oh, fishy.
Oh, you again. Yes, what can I do for you?
Well, the missus was wondering if perhaps you could transform the house into a castle. Perhaps with 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, hot and cold running water, air conditioning would be good. Oh, and something with increasing property value would also be really nice.
You don't say. Oh, very well. Go back, you'll find her waiting at the gate.
And so he did, and there she was, waiting at the gate. I don't know why, but there she was.
Okay, so, like, this is totally exciting. Like, I was just sitting on the couch reading a book, and I couldn't believe it, but suddenly the couch just magically transformed into a castle, and there was a drawbridge and a boat, and there were people waiting on me, which is so exciting. Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But there is one slight problem with this. Well, you see, now, I guess all these servants come with the castle and everything, because there's all these people, like, lurking around, and, they're taking care of stuff, but when I ask them specifically to do things, like, start a little war or something, and they say no. Because apparently I don't have the authority to ask them that sort of stuff. Apparently that authority is only given to the king and queen. What is up with that? I know you just came all the way back from the lake and everything, but could you just go over there and ask a quick little favor of this fish? Because you have to be able to have power over a fish. I know you can't put the toilet seat down, but you must be able to talk to a fish. So, just go back there and ask if he can make you king and me queen.
Well, to make a long story short, if it's not too late already, he went back to the lake and again sought out the fish.
Fish.
I had a feeling you would come here. What is it now?
Now, my wife wants to know if we could possibly be king and queen of everything in our sight.
Oh, that's quite possible. In fact, It has already happened.
Oh, good. Well, then I wasted a trip down here, didn't I?
And so he made his way back home, whatever that might turn out to be.
Honey, I'm home.
Okay, so I can get the servants to listen to me, and they're kind of up starting a little rebellion right now. But the problem is that I tried to take a nap outside in my comfy little hammock. Not that I'm entirely sure what a hammock is, but I tried to take a nap in it anyway, but I couldn't. But anyway, I was sitting outside, and I'm lying in the hammock, and, I'm trying to sleep. I can't, because, it's high noon, and what is there over my head? The sun. And I was like, sun, you're all up in my business right now. And it was like, why can't you talk to me? And it was like, because I'm the sun. And then I woke up and I realized that I'd just been asleep and I was dreaming. But the point was that then I tried to get the sun out of the sky so I could go back to sleep, and it wouldn't. It would not listen to me. Why is this? I am the queen. I should be able to do this sort of stuff. I don't think you're doing this right.
It's not going to go away even for a king or a queen.
What would it go away for?
It would go away for about a 12-hour period.
I don't even understand that joke, but, is there any way that you could go back and ask the fish if it could give me some sort of, magical powers that could control the sun and maybe the moon and maybe, if it rained and stuff like that? And just, that would be really, really cool.
So he went back to the lake to seek out the fish, but this time the fish, which had become very weary of the whole deja vu thing, had transformed into a dragon, which is like a fish but on a larger scale.
What do you want?
Ooh, what big teeth you have. Not to bother you, but I was wondering if my wife could now become Lord of the Sun and Moon.
So it wasn't enough that I gave her a nice house, a castle. Now she wants more.
Well, you'd think that would have been enough, but she's really quite whiny and demanding.
Very well. Go back, and you will see.
I'm not sure I like the sound of that.
So he heads back home, and what do you think he found? Do. Nope, you're wrong if you thought a yacht in the middle of the forest.
I'll take fairy tale endings for 500.
He found the pigsty they lived in originally, and it had not been at all refurbished. And they lived sloppily ever after.
And that's the story of the fisherman and his wife. We did a little transformation there, though.
Just a little, yes.
But we just had to do that because the day we're podcasting today is January 16th. It is National Appreciate a Dragon Day.
Thereby proving that there is officially a holiday for everything.
Is there officially a holiday for fish?
It would not surprise me, actually.
You're dragging this out.
Yes. In talking about appreciating dragons, if you haven't already heard The Dragon of Krakow, that is one of the podcasts that's available online. And our current production that we're doing live on stage, we also have a dragon story in that.
We do?
Well, there's a dragon in it, and you play the dragon. Yes, we do.
Oh, that's right, we do. It's hard to see the dragon when you're it.
Yes, it's the story of the fourth question. There is a dragon in that. Very nice dragon. And recently I've been listening to a podcast book, a whole book that's done in podcast style, and it's by Christiana Ellis. And she's going to tell us a little bit about her story, which also features a dragon.
Ooh.
Hello, my name is Christiana Ellis, author of the free podcast novel Nina Kimberly the Merciless, and I come to you today with a plea. Please go listen. It's a complete audiobook with dragons and swords and... Ow, Nina, that's sharp.
Well, then maybe you should be working harder on getting me more listeners.
But Nina, thousands of people have already listened. It was nominated for a Parsec Award for Best Long-Form Speculative Fiction. It's in the top 20 at Podcast Pickle. What more can I do?
Look, my father was Marcus the Merciless, the infamous barbarian conqueror. Do you think I'm going to be satisfied with less than total victory?
Okay, Nina Kimberly the Merciless is a teenage barbarian princess who is on the quest for adventure, excitement, and maybe, just maybe, she'll find a nice, handsome hero along the way.
I guess that's pretty good. Now tell them where they can find it.
Nina Kimberly the Merciless can be found at ninakimberly.com or podiobooks.com. It's a complete audiobook, available free.
That's right, and you all had better listen. Don't make me come after you.
She'll do it, folks. She's merciless.
That's Nina Kimberly, the Merciless.
Okay, thanks, Christiana.
She's now writing Space Casey, and I have not had a chance to listen to that one yet. But the story Nina Kimberly, the Merciless, is especially popular with teens. I don't know if it'd be quite suitable for young'uns, but the teens and I enjoyed it.
Kimberly the Merciless. That sounds like somebody that I know of.
Well, it's Nina Kimberly, the Merciless. It's quite an ingenious story.
She starts with slicing someone's head off. Really get your attention right away.
Yeah, it said, Zephyr, listen to this story. Zephyr, listen to the story. And then I played it for him today. And sliced then, ooh, I like that one. And, of course, there is a dragon in it. That's a very intricate part of the story and a very interesting dragon. Very interesting character. So, yes, highly recommend Christiana Ellis's Nina Kimberly, the Merciless.
And what do we have coming up?
Disney, and Disney.
Woo!
Cassia will be leaving us, flying back to Massachusetts on Saturday, and then we pick up a friend of ours coming in from Buffalo. We get really popular when we come down here and stay in Disney World. I don't understand it. People come see us. And then next weekend, we'll be heading out to Jetty Park and meeting up with some other families on the road. I believe we've got about 12 of them meeting us out there for the weekend just to hang out and have some fun.
And I think that's about it for this week.
Big thank you to Cassia for her wonderful job helping us out. Any final words, Cassia?
Not especially, not that I can think of.
She has nothing to say.
We struck her speechless.
Not during the story, we didn't.
All right, then. Tally-ho. We'll see you later.
Pack, pack. Huh? See you real soon.
The Activated Storytellers perform at schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use American Sign Language, physical comedy, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring the stories to life. For booking information, check our website at www.activated-storytellers.com, where you can also find out when the Activated Storytellers will be performing near you, read a story, or order one of our audio CDs. Until next time.